In this brief video, we're going to have another session with our savings calculator on the Do You Right microsite. Now, you'll notice that this doesn't look the way the calculator normally looks when you open it up. Usually it comes up with a figure of something like $18,000. And why is this? The reason is that I've gone in here and zeroed it out by setting the number of projects to zeros. Both categories, word and efficiency issues, and the category that we're going to work with today, which is FrameMaker efficiency savings. There's a large number of areas where FrameMaker has features where there's not really a strong equivalent in Microsoft Word. And today's category is Sideheads. And from what I'm going to demonstrate to you, I'm going to determine that there's about 45 times that I would use Sideheads in a very large project. And then in addition to this, I have about 15 projects. Now you'll see that if the people are being paid around $30 an hour, this actually creates savings of $3,443. If we were to move up here to the top and reduce the hourly rate to $18, we still have substantial savings because it's a savings of $2,000.66 just for this one project, what we see right here. So let's find out why this matters. First of all, we'll go into Microsoft Word for a quick refresher on how Sideheads are normally performed in Word. This is very typical. Most Microsoft Word users employ tables to create Sideheads, and this is so that they can have columns to segregate what looks like a sidehead from the body text that flows on down. Now at first glance this document doesn't look like it has any problems. However, notice at the beginning of page 2 we have a rather deep sidehead, and you're going to see something that's familiar to you if you've ever tried to do this in Word. I'm going to make a minor edit. I'm just going to delete one sentence. Okay, now a couple things have happened that aren't obvious right at first. One of them is when I scroll down, we see that our sidehead now splits a page. So this of course has to be fixed with a manual page break. I'll just press Control Return to do that. So I'd have to do that each and every time this occurs. This of course will leave unwanted page breaks if I add that text back. I'm going to get a blank page, so you can imagine the minutes that add up pretty quickly. The other problem is not quite as obvious, and this is a pretty bad one because this can slip by people when they're printing the document out. This might look normal if I turn off the paragraph symbol. However, the problem is that objective has to line up with this paragraph and goals has to line up with this paragraph, and they don't line up anymore because these are separate columns. There's no connection between the two of them. So the way that we actually correct this is to delete one of the carriage returns or paragraphs that were used to pad out this column, basically this text right here. So now this lines up with this. So as you can see, it took a little bit of work for me to make a correction for just one missing sentence. And of course, if I were to do this again, I could have a further problem. Let's take a quick look at how FrameMaker deals with this issue. Here we have this exact same content in a FrameMaker document. The Word file was converted into Frame, and we're employing sideheads. Now, the difference is that sideheads are actually a property of the paragraphs, and you can change from regular paragraphs to sideheads and back and forth. The other issue is that your sideheads are always connected to the text next to them, and there's no way to separate that. Sideheads also cannot split across columns because it's not a table, and tables don't do that in FrameMaker anyway. So to give you an example, I'm going to go ahead and first of all just change a sidehead. I'm going to do that just by using simple paragraph tags. You'll notice that I've got one style here that has a number and one that doesn't have a number. Unlike Microsoft Word, it's very easy to employ numbers in FrameMaker and have them keep their integrity. So I'm going to take the word objective and I'm going to change it from a first level head to a second level head, which makes the number go away. Third level head puts it inside the body text, and heading 3A changes it to italic and underlined. Now if I simply click on it and make it a heading 1 again, notice it just automatically jumps out where it needs to go. And the reason that it can do that is because in our paragraph properties over here on the pagination level, we have a category that can tell this paragraph that it's in column or sidehead. Now I'm going to do a format override and just tell it that it's in column, which jumps it over. Or I can go back and change it to what it was originally, a sidehead. So it's just that simple. Now let's go ahead and try to create the other problem that we had in Microsoft Word. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to delete some text, maybe this much. Okay, and the reason I did that is I wanted to have this paragraph appear on the second page. Now what I'm going to do is simply type into this and add enough text to make it eventually go to the second page because the heading will be too deep to fit on page 1. What happens when we do that? Well, you can see what happens is that the entire side head automatically goes over to the next page with the accompanying text that is kind of glued to. So basically what this means is we don't have any page breaks anywhere in this document. Although you can create one, they're totally unrequired. Now if I turn off the borders, you can see this gives you an idea of what it really looks like when it prints to paper, and you know exactly what it looks like. What's also nice about this, by the way, is side heads can also very easily have anchored frames below them. So if I had some type of artwork that I wanted to put below here, that's quite easy to do as well. This concludes our demonstration on calculating savings in FrameMaker with side heads versus the manual steps in Microsoft Word.